BYU's football team rolled out of the Poinsettia Bowl after a 23-6 victory over San Diego State in mid-December. Big changes followed. Head coach Bronco Mendenhall replaced his entire offensive staff and rehired Robert Anae as offensive coordinator. Together, they launched into a very important spring practice, and we welcome both of them here at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
I know this is one of your favorite interviews of the year because it's one of your last, and we appreciate you putting up with us. So give us your assessment of spring practice.
I was pleased with what we got done. There's still plenty of work to do, but we established a unified mindset in terms of work ethic. We established a unified mindset in terms of effort and I would say execution and how hard our kids try. And so I like that part and how it brought the team together. I think we got our offense installed and to the point where you can see when it's executed well how difficult it will be to defend. And also you can see some inconsistencies where it will be necessary to work more. Defensively, schemes are installed, a lot of backups needed work, got work. We still need more depth, especially in the front seven to establish physical presence. We worked a ton on the kicking game, but not many players hurt and a lot of work done with a pretty clear idea of now what we need to do to go forward.
The other day you said this was the most unified the team has been since you've been head coach. And I know you just laid it out a moment ago. Elaborate on that for just a moment. Why is that? Why do you feel that way?
I think common respect through work ethic. And so when the standard is the same for every player on the team, every position group on the team, and from every coach on the team, then there's no chance for there to be division or inconsistency or disparity because it's all a similar vision. And so Coach and I brought in a really strong work ethic that was permeated to the offensive players and the offensive staff members. And then with the up-tempo, literally defenses are working just hard enough to get lined up, let alone play the plays, which has earned their respect just in that capacity.
Not enough points last year, not enough rushing yards, not enough victories. You make a wide-scale change with your offensive staff. Was there a point during the spring that you saw it hit and go, you know what, these are the guys I need?
You know, I think the production will merit that over time. Until then, what I like is just how much fun it is to see the team working at the same level. And I love that. If you just take the scrimmage for today, we ran the ball effectively, we threw it in play action effectively, and there would have been enough points to win a football game today. And so whether or not we've arrived yet, that certainly hasn't happened, but I love the direction.
We'll get to Robert and the offense in just a moment. Defensively last year, as good as BYU's ever been statistically. So as you look to the fall, where do you look to get better?
Man, we have a ton of work to replace the physical nature of how we play the run. We have returners at safety in Daniel Sorensen and Craig Bills. We have Jordan Johnson back. We'll replace Preston Hadley, so one of the four there. Kyle Van Noy back, Spencer Hadley back. Wani Unga back, so one inside backer to replace. And then Ethan Manamaliuna right now will play one of the three spots. We need two other very, very solid run-stopping defensive front players. And then it's just a matter of work, and that'll build consistency and chemistry.
As you teach them, as we see the rankings for this unit, as you teach them to play defense, which is still your most favorite thing to do in coaching, what are you looking to instill that might show up on 3rd down and 7?
You know, it's determination, and right now the defensive resolve is a work in progress. Their capacity to be physical and to be physical repeatedly with high effort within their assignment and technique and then do it again, that capacity still has to be built. I've seen signs here and there, but consistency happens over time, and that's what we need is more time.
With a talent like Kyle Van Noy and the quest to make him better, how about breaking him down? What do you say, hey Kyle, let's do this, this, and this might help you be better?
Well, we worked hard on developing a practice structure that would be appropriate for him to manage risk of injury, but also help him improve, and that's a unique balance. I'm kind of all the way in, or you're not all the way in, and so it was really a difficult kind of transition for both of us to figure out where in between that he would fit. And I'm not sure we still hit that right on the head. I do know he'll be prepared in the fall. He loves football, and he'll be physically conditioned and ready to play. His pass coverage, because he doesn't do that nearly as much as rushing the quarterback, had to be improved. I think we targeted that. His knowledge of the defense, I think, took a step even further. And then leadership, whether Kyle likes it or not, once you're a senior and you have all the accolades he has and has made as many plays as he's had for us, leadership comes whether you want it or not. And so how he handles that will be a big step.
Robert, tempo has been the battle cry since day one. After 6 weeks of it, where would you say the offense is?
Well, I think Bronco hit it on the head the other day. He made a good point. Practice is your capacity. You practicing your capacity, how far you can push yourself. And with the team standard being the same, I was pleased that on the offensive side the team was unified that way. And I felt coming in that was probably the biggest challenge.
If it was easy to increase the pace, all the teams would be doing it. So as you work with this group to increase the pace, is it more mental or is it more physical?
Well, for me, it starts with the mental part. You have to be able to train that way. And I'm looking forward to the off season, because the off season there are going to be new methods for that. We're going to enter a new phase in the program for that. And now with spring behind us, I think the guys have a pretty good margin of what it'll take, and looking for growth in the off season.
Did you see enough out of Hill and Olsen and Stewart and Munns to feel comfortable at quarterback?
Oh, I'm very excited for our quarterback play. Our quarterbacks are capable, and probably the most thrilling thing is those guys are pushing the envelope with team effort, and very pleased with them as a group on how hard they're playing.
Taysom Hill missed 7 games last year, yet still finished as the number 2 rusher on the team. How much do you want your quarterback to run in this offense?
Well, just enough to get yards and just enough to hook slide. The only time that thing goes all board is on a special down, a special situation, and on the goal line. Other than that, it's his job to execute his assignment and his technique while keeping himself protected.
Bronco, you're on board with that?
That's why I'm smiling. and when Robert says hook slide, they hook and they try to get in the ground because of his presence, which is good, and I like that.
Taysom told us the other day they need, as a core, get smarter. They need to get smarter when running the football, and it sounds like what you're talking about. Smarter means get down.
Well, yes. The way I look at quarterback play, an efficient quarterback knows how to execute his assignment to present the most yardage on a play. And at the same token, you're going to have to protect yourself. So there's a balance there.
Last time you were here, Austin Collie broke all these receiving records. Now that you're back, Cody Hoffman is in position to break all of Austin Collie's records. What kind of weapon does Cody bring to your offense this fall?
Well, I don't know much about records, but I do know that Cody is a presence on the field.
Yeah.
And like Kyle Van Noy, Coach just said, we hope that the leadership and the playmaking ability go hand in hand. And that'll have an opportunity to show first and foremost in spring and summer conditioning, how he embraces that. And with the total embrace, there's no doubt he's got the ability to do special stuff.
The two of you have 8 offensive linemen coming in June that were in this year's recruiting class. Is that the key part of the summer conditioning, is getting those 8 guys ready to play?
Everyone. Even the guys that went through every day in spring. I'm sure you ask any one of them, what's it going to take? And they'll probably give you a look like, I don't know how to express what I'm about to go through.
The Marines say that too after they've gone through boot camp. Bronco, this fast-paced offense seems to shift a lot of pressure onto the defense because you may be out there more and more plays than you were last year. How will that play out?
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We're anticipating playing maybe a quarter more. We played 60 plays a year ago. Oregon's defense, for instance, with a similar tempo, and you can't compare identically, played 77 plays, almost 80. So that's the equivalent of a quarter. However, to say that just because we play fast tempo means that many more plays, the defense has a lot to do with that. If they play well and play well on third down, actually the offense gets to play more. And so really it comes down to how well we execute, how well we're trained, how physically fit we are, how mentally tough we are, etc. And so I'm not necessarily going to just say because it's this tempo, that means now this many plays.
Yeah.
I want the quality of the plays, and I want the ball back to the offense so they can keep doing their thing.
Jamal Williams just turned 18.
Oh.
Does that make you two guys feel old or just very fortunate?
Both. Jamal has a fantastic mom. She flew into town, surprised them, had a great birthday party for him. Our team loves him. He's one of the toughest and hardest working players on our team. And for as young as he is and the role that he's played, that he's balanced it that well, I'm really proud of him to this point.
After the season, you said where he could get better is understanding blocking schemes. And Coach Anae, did you notice Williams picking up the blocking assignments a little better this spring?
One thing I did see with Jamal is an embrace for the effort of blocking. And he demonstrated that in practice, and would like to see him continue down that road.
Between now and when we reconvene in August, what will you ask of your players to do this summer?
Everything they have to get as mentally tough as they can get, as physically conditioned as they can get, as dedicated as they can be, to finish as strong as possible in the classroom, to stay absolutely worthy to be here and to support their teammates, and that ought to keep them busy.
How much time will the two of you spend together plotting ahead over the course of the summer? I know you like to get out and get away and get back, but between the two, the offense and the defense, and the head coach and assistant head coach, do you spend much time?
We spend every morning together in a staff meeting. To say that we need much more than that, we really don't. We share in that meeting. We're direct and honest. We're not a staff that you have a meeting and then you have side meetings after the meeting to discuss the meeting or the side meeting.
It's a lot of meetings.
We say exactly what we mean. We mean what we say in that meeting, and then when it closes, you go on. And it takes about a half hour.
Later this month, Ziggy Ansah is going to be drafted. Mel Kiper this week came out. Now he's projected in the number 2 overall pick. He's going to go in the top 10. For his story and your involvement with Ziggy, how big of a month is ahead for him?
It's not only as big a month that's ahead, it's a life that's ahead. And man, I'm so proud that he earned the opportunity. I didn't think he would through 3 years of just really hard work, but he was resilient enough to make it to this stage to get this chance. He's getting ready to be faced with a whole different set of challenges. He's capable, if he's surrounded by the right organization, the right people, and he's able to manage all the outside influences and just stay true to himself, he'll be great.
Have you looked around campus for any of the 6'6" guys walking around that have never played that might?
No, but we're considering a trip to Ghana.
Very wise. After what Ziggy's done, that's very wise. Coach Anae, Coach Mendenhall, have a great summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you both.